Mi unicornio azul ayer se me perdió. Pastando lo dejé y desapareció. Cualquier información bien la voy a pagar. Las flores que dejó no me han querido hablar. Mi unicornio azul ayer se me perdió. No sé si se me fue, no sé si se extravió. Y yo no tengo más que un unicornio azul.
That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming out today. Welcome to Soledad Lolita del Pilar Acuna Diaz's celebration of life. This afternoon is an important one in the life story of Soledad, who is also known as Lolita from a very early age. We come to pay our respects, tributes, and to show our love for Lolita and her family on this day. There's a couple of announcements that I'd like to make before we get started. Everyone is welcome to join us at the graveside following today's celebration. And in speaking to Evelyn and Catherine, the family would like to open the microphone up to anyone here that would like to share their favorite story or favorite memory of Lolita. I want to give you as much time as possible because I know when I'm in that position, I don't think of anything until about 20 minutes too late. So I'll give you some time now to come up with something. And we'll be doing that just after the video presentation. My name is Mitchell Smith. I am a life celebrant specializing in funeral celebrations. I'd like to first read the poem chosen for today's celebration, titled Afterglow. I like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the ways of happy times and laughing times, bright and sunny days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun of happy memories that I leave when life is done. Funerals such as today's help us begin to truly acknowledge that somebody important to us has died. They also help to encourage us to remember the person and the good times and the not so good times that were shared. I am sure as we gather here, we gather with mixed emotions. Sadness, naturally at losing somebody so important in our lives, maybe some relief, as Lolita is no longer in pain. But we also gather with a sense of gratitude, just because Soledad was in our lives. Each of you will have a different favorite memory. I encourage you now to take a moment and relive that memory. Remember how you loved her and she loved you. In this brief moment of reflection, love yourself just as she would have loved you, knowing that in this moment, Lolita would be very happy to know that she made a difference in your life. For that is one of life's greatest pleasures, is to know that you made a difference in someone's life. I want everyone to know that this is a safe space to express your feelings. Sometimes allowing yourself to cry is the scariest thing you will ever do, but it is the bravest. It takes a lot of courage to face the facts, stare loss in the face, bare your heart, and let it bleed. It is the only way to cleanse your wounds, your soul, and prepare them for healing. God time, family, good friends will all take care of the rest. Today's service brings us together to offer an atmosphere of love and support. We get to express our inner thoughts and feelings about Lolita today. We're also taking the time to mark the significance of the life that was lived. Funerals help us to embrace the wonder of life and death. It also gives us some closure to the life and death of Soledad Lolita del Pilar Acuna Diaz. Occasions like this one are changing a bit over time. I remember as a child and as a teenager attending funerals and thinking to myself, well, that was kind of dark. We used to attend funerals where the focus seemed to be solely on a person's death. Not much attention or mention was paid to their life. These occasions would stick in our minds as being difficult and dark. I believe it started occurring to people associated to the funeral world that these services were perhaps being done a little backwards. I'm not saying for a moment that the two moments when Lolita arrived on January 27th, 1960, and when she left here on May 8th, 2024, aren't important. They are very important moments in Lolita's life story. But what about all those moments in between? When we look at someone's headstone, these two dates, a birth date and a death date, are shown with a dash in between. It is this dash that we are concerned with today. That dash represents when Lolita celebrated life with us and causes us to remember all the actions, words, and love, and so many moments to be grateful for, such as every breath she took, every time she smiled and laughed. Soledad was truly a gift to this world, and especially her family. I would now like to read the following poem chosen for today, titled, "A Limb Has Fallen." A limb has fallen from the family tree. I keep hearing a voice that says, "Grieve not for me." Remember the best times, the laughter, the song, the good life I lived while I was strong. Continue my heritage, I'm counting on you. Keep smiling and surely the sun will shine through. My mind is at ease, my soul is at rest, remembering all how I was truly blessed. Continue traditions, no matter how small. Go on with your life, don't worry about falls. I miss you all dearly, so keep up your chin until the day comes that we're together again. I would now like to have the song "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay" by Otis Redding.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change, everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Yes, sitting here resting my bones and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of a bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of a bay, wasting time.
Lolita, as she was known, was born on January 27th, 1960. She went by that name from a very early age. And a little later in life, she would first marry Umberto, also known as Cheap, in 1977. And the relationship changed in 2014 to one of deep friendship. Cheap and Lolita had 3 children, Evelyn, Catherine, and John. In 1979, the decision was made to come to Canada. This was not a light decision that was made. First off, when the decision to immigrate was made, it was during a time of dictatorship and civil unrest. It was not a good time in Chile. As with all families with deep ties to each other, things happen. One of those things was the disappearance of Louis, Cheap's brother. And at that time, Cheap and Lolita knew that Louis's boys needed them. And as such, Cheap and Lolita took them into their home as their own. Umberto first came to Canada in preparation for the coming of his wife and the 4 children, Catherine, John, Louis, and Ronnie. Evelyn would come later. Soledad and Umberto showed how much family meant to them and what all the children meant to them. Lolita was adamant for Cheap to buy plane tickets for all of them. Umberto and Soledad wanted to make sure that the boys were part of their family when they came to Canada. While this was going on, Soledad, at the tender age of 18, showed so much strength and determination. She went to court and faced a female judge who plainly said, "How can you," and this was not a respectful you, "how can you take care and provide for these 2 boys along with your 2 children? What makes me believe that you can provide for them better than their family here in Chile?" Soledad responded with tears in her eyes and from the heart, "I would give up my own food for them. If I can love my children, I can love these 2 as my own as well." So, off to Canada they came. Soledad had 5 children. Evelyn eventually arrived. Catherine. She had 5 children to take care of, and that's exactly what she did. Coming to Canada was not exactly a smooth transition. Immigration wanted to deny them entry into Canada. Soledad spoke to the immigration officer and said, "Do not send us back to Chile. Send us to England." Because of Soledad's determination and assertiveness, the immigration officer went to their supervisor and discussed the situation. It needs to be noted that during this time period, with the dictatorship and the civil unrest, it was hard for Chileans to come into Canada. People were going missing and not being found. But the immigration officer, after talking to the supervisor, came back with good news. They were being let into Canada. When Umberto came to Canada first, he had a support system already in place. His mom and his sister were already living here. Lolita didn't have this. Most of her family remained in Chile, even to this day. Her house was not a quiet house. It was a go, go, go house. Lolita was in her element. She had lots of love for every child under her roof. She had incredible patience and was always at the ready for anything. Her choice of decor was either go big or go home. She went big. She was a superb homemaker, not a housemaker, but a homemaker. She and Alberto made a home. She could be tough and assertive, but when it came to the children, she was soft and loving. Not so much with cheap, however, but she did have a heart of gold. Life at home was now consistent and constant. They didn't move very often. Life at home was always about the children, especially when they were young. Soledad, in her 20s, went to the Marvell School of Beauty and gained an education as an esthetician. As her family said, she was a bit of a wild child and had a heart of gold. She was very courageous. She loved to dance. She was always on the move. Her and Cheap, after they separated, would go out often where they would dance and have a good time. They would even take the kids and eventually the grandkids along. Even though they were separated and eventually divorced, however, that didn't happen for quite a long time. It was difficult for Soledad to detach from the family as they all lived in the same condo complex. So she decided to move out. Lolita had a few passions. She loved rock and roll music. She loved the Edmonton Oilers, and she loved to laugh. Even so, she kept to herself. Her and the kids would go to the park or to McDonald's. In the 80s, where the Oilers won the Stanley Cup, Lolita took great pleasure in driving around town with the kids in her Mustang to celebrate. Lolita loved the human experience and every chance she had to experience it, be it either cooking for friends and family or sharing in a laugh or two, and by traveling to Chile to see her family. Lolita didn't have any family here apart from her immediate family, her children. Her mom and siblings remained in Chile. Lolita was an affirmative person, always gave good advice. She never took sides, but she did what was always right. In 1992, Soledad chose to move back to Chile to be with her family. This, however, did not last long, about 9 months. She operated a tourism business in Chile. She then came back to Canada. Shortly after, the first of 5 grandchildren came with Delilia, then Adriel, Alejandro, Alicia, and Lenina. She loved all her grandchildren greatly. However, as Delia was the firstborn, Soledad took it upon herself to dress her to the nines. At 2.5 years old, she had a matching outfit with a matching purse. She acted as a second mother to her grandkids, especially Delilia. In 2012, her and Alberto rekindled their relationship, but soon found out that they were better friends than anything else. In 2014, she became a snowbird, spending half her time in Canada and half the time in Chile. Now, I'm sure that she stayed here in Canada during the winter months, because where else can you experience a 30-degree swing in temperature in a given day? I'm kidding. I'm sure if I had family in Chile like she did, I would spend my winters there too. While in Chile, she met the second love of her life, Carlos, in 2017. They became engaged to each other. Unfortunately, they never married. This was a decision made by Soledad. While together, they made a life for themselves by operating a fruit market, and they also had animals. They had a pair of Chilean German Shepherds and were very proud of them. Lolita always had liver treats with her. Wherever her and Carlos went, so did the dogs. In 2021, she came back to Canada. Unfortunately, in 2022, Cheap passed. 10 days later, she had her diagnosis. After her diagnosis came in, she went back to Chile and lived in a beach house at El Tabo Beach. During COVID, when travel was not allowed, she spent time talking to her family in Canada over the phone, especially at holiday time. In 2023, Soledad, Carlos, and the dogs came to Canada to stay. Any woman can be a mother, but it is evident that it takes a special woman to be a mom. And that's exactly what Soledad was, a very special lady. I would like to play the next song, Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor.
It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whomever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant, but nothing, I said nothing can take away these blues. 'Cause nothing
I would now like to read the following poem for today's service, titled Live On. Don't cry for me in sadness. Don't weep for me in sorrow. For I will be beside you, as sure as comes tomorrow. My body has gone, but my spirit lives on, as does my love for you. Just as in life, I'll watch over you. I will always be true. My blood lives on in my children, how I've watched them grow with pride. I'll live on within them, always by their side. I know my jokes weren't always funny, and jobs weren't always done. Just try and always remember the good times, the days when we had fun. Reach out if you need me, for I will always be near. Just talk to me as if I'm there. I promise I will hear. For I live on within your mind, will never be apart, as long as you keep my memory deep within your heart. So lift up your hearts, don't be sad. My spirit hasn't gone. While you're still there, so am I. I really will live on. Today's funeral opens the door to allowing yourself to mourn and the expression of grief. Grief in its simplest form is loss of someone or something that you once loved. The grief you feel in part is because you loved Lolita so much that when she left, you have all this unspent love for her, and she's not here to reciprocate that sharing of love. There really are only two stages of grief. Stage 1 is before the occurrence. Stage 2 is life thereafter. As we're all in this life together, it is fitting that we as a community come together to share in your loss and to share in your mourning. I would now like to invite Evelyn to read Lolita's eulogy.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Oh, this one right here? Okay. Okay, everyone, bear with us. And no, we will not make you cry. Just kidding. We would like to thank you all for coming and joining us virtually today to celebrate the love of our beloved mother, Soledad, aka Sole, Billy, Lola, and Lita, that all who knew her. Our mother enjoyed life to the fullest with her laughter, contagious smile, and showed it in all her photos. She is the bravest and the courageous woman we all knew. She loved to give advice, provided her opinions, and was always straightforward. She was not perfect. She made mistakes, like all human beings, but she always tried to do better. Her life changed drastically when she was diagnosed in the latest year of 2022 from this vicious disease, cancer. El bicho, she would say. She was determined, a fighter, and always showed her strong side no matter what she would feel in any given day. She always lit up, especially when her grandchildren would arrive to visit. She loved to catch up with them, their laughter, and hear how their day went. It always made her day feeling so much love and positive energy from them. Our mother taught us the best she could. Always showed her love and gratitude for being by her side. If we cried, she held our hands and would say, "Be calm and peace with us all." She wanted us to feel her protection and strength from such pain like all mothers would. We are never ready to lose someone we love so much. Excuse me. Okay. When we lose our mother, we have lost something very special and irreplaceable. We are forever grateful to have you as our mother, Mama. We will carry on your teachings and tender loving and care. We will make you proud forever. This is never goodbye. We will see you once again. We love you, Mama, forever and ever. Thanks to all our families and friends for the lovely messages, the food preps, and the flowers. We are forever grateful and thankful to you all. I'm going to say it in Spanish now. Voy a hablar en español ahora. Nos gustaría agradecer a todos por venir y acompañarnos virtualmente hoy para celebrar la vida de nuestra querida madre Soledad, a.k.a. Sole, Pili, Lola, Lita, y a todos los que la conocieron. Nuestra madre disfrutó la vida al máximo con sonrisa contagiosa, y lo demostró en todas sus fotos. Ella fue la mujer más valiente que todos conocimos. Le encantaba dar consejos, dar sus opiniones, y siempre era directa. Ella no era perfecta, cometía errores como todo ser humano, pero siempre intentaba hacerlo mejor. Su vida cambió drásticamente cuando le diagnosticaron en la última año del 2022 la cruel enfermedad, cáncer, el bicho, diría ella. Ella decidía luchar a dar, y siempre mostrará su lado fuerte sin importar lo que sintiera en un día terminado. Ella siempre se iluminaba, especialmente cuando sus nietos llegaban de visita. Le encantaba ponerse al día con ellos, reírse y escuchar cómo transcurría el día. Siempre le agradaba el día sentir tanto amor y energía positiva de ellos. Nuestra madre nos enseñó lo mejor que pudo. Siempre mostró su amor y agradecimiento por estar a su lado. Si llorábamos, ella nos tomaba las manos y nos decía: calma y paz con todo esto. Quería que sintiéramos su protección y fuertes antes ese dolor como lo harían todas las madres. Nunca estamos preparados para perder a alguien quien amamos tanto. Cuando perdemos a nuestra madre, hemos perdido algo muy especial y irreemplazable. Estaremos enteramente agradecidos de tenerte como nuestra madre, mamá. Continuaremos con tus enseñanzas y tu tierno amor y cuidado. Te haremos sentir orgulloso para siempre. Esto nunca es un adiós. Nos veremos pronto, una vez más. Te amamos, mamá, por siempre y eternamente. Gracias a toda nuestra familia
en el extranjero y los amigos y familia aquí cercanos por los lindos y los cercanos de los mensajes que Amor recibió, apoyo, preparaciones y comidas, preparaciones de comida y flores. Estaremos enteramente agradecidos y agradecidos con todos ustedes. Gracias. And that's it. I made it. Okay, we're good.
I would now like to play Hallelujah by Katie Lang.
Heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the her beauty and the moonlight overthrew ya. Well, she tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and cut your hair, and from your lips she drew hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked the floor. Used to live alone before I knew ya. But I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Our love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold and broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
We now come to the time where you have the opportunity to share your favorite memory of Lolita. I would like to invite anyone who would like to share their memory to please come up to the podium.
Bueno, primero que nada quiero dar las gracias a todos ustedes, en especial a mis sobrinas que permitieron que yo estuviera acá. Ya. Y también a Lolita darle las gracias también por habernos cuidado a todos. Ella siempre fue fuerte y hasta el momento, este último día, siempre fue fuerte con todos. Me gustaría decir que hay una ley de un científico que dice que la materia solo cambia de estado. Y con eso quiero explicar que la Lolita siempre va a estar con nosotros. Y eso, muchas gracias a todos. Gracias, Lolita, por todo. Gracias.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to say this in Spanish in respects to her family that is watching and her brother that is here today. Voy a hablar en español para las personas que están viendo esto virtualmente y para compartir unas cosas que siempre me recordarán a Sole. Yo a Sole la conocí con 5 años, toda mi vida. Y para mí ella era con sus tacos, sus jeans, su chaqueta, su Mustang, tenía la tele más grande y veíamos todos los partidos en la casa de chica. Ella era alegría, pasión, luz y tenía mucha garra, muchísima garra. Ella le encantaba vivir y disfrutar de cada momento. Uno de mis recuerdos lindos es, mucha gente dice, esta persona aportó un granito de arena. Ella aportaba baldes de arena en mi niñez. Ella era la primera afuera intentando de hacernos una cancha de patinaje para que nosotros pudiéramos patinar en el invierno. Ella siempre estábamos en su casa, bailábamos con ella. Ella tenía el Surround Sound System Stereo, el mejor top. Y ella, yo, entre que fui creciendo con los años, la fui entendiendo como mujer. No puedo llegar a entender de una edad tan joven, tener a cargo a 5 niños, y realmente lo hizo lo mejor que ella pudo, y lo hizo con todos los conocimientos que ella tenía. Y esos valores vienen de su hogar, de su casa, de sus hermanos, de su papá, de su mamá. Y esos legados ella le va dejando a sus hijos. Y ella fue una gran mujer, una luchadora hasta el final. Y si tú fuiste tan afortunado de que ella en un momento te amó, ella te amó con toda su pasión, con toda su garra. Porque ella de esto ha sido un tremendo hogar. Era una tremenda mujer, con todos sus defectos, con todas sus virtudes. Era realmente una mujer que pisó fuerte en esta tierra. Y me siento muy orgullosa de haberla conocido más de 40 años. Y yo sé que la volveré a ver. Así que, amiga, de parte de mi familia, los Roja Ormazábal, que siempre sepas que vamos a estar aquí para ti, para tu hermana, para tu hermano y tus hijos, porque tú formas parte de nuestro vínculo, nuestra amistad, de ser la primera generación de inmigrantes en este país. Y te amamos muchísimo y aquí estaremos por ti siempre. Gracias.
Would anybody else like to come forward?
Yo soy hermana de Evelyn, que recién habló, y lo que dice ella es asertivo. Nosotros tuvimos mucha historia y memorias con Sole, y bueno, todas las historias que contaba el caballero de aquí, de que el amor por los Oilers, siempre, nosotros hasta la fecha, a nuestros hijos, cada vez que ganan, los llevamos en el carro, nos vamos para el centro, y todo eso es porque nosotros lo vivimos con Sole cuando éramos chicos. Ella nos decía, vamos, y nos llevaba a todos porque todos vivíamos en el mismo lugar. Entonces, todas esas historias también pude compartir uno de sus sueños bien grandes con ella. Ella siempre quiso tener una casa en la playa, siempre habló de despertar con el amanecer, acostarse con el atardecer, y pude estar con ella en ese hogar que ella hizo con Humberto en ese tiempo, pero era el sueño de ella. Ella amaba despertar con el amanecer. Y como decía mi hermana, es verdad, ella tenía tanta vida. A mí siempre ella era una persona, un referente de mujer, creciendo después, una persona que, como decíamos, era tan joven y tan fuerte, con sus 5 hijos. Ella siempre, a Evelyn, a Catherine, a Johnny, ellos siempre eran unos niños felices, bailábamos, hacíamos cosas tan divertidas con ella. Ella era una mujer llena de vida. Me acuerdo que en Chile, cuando tuvimos la oportunidad de cuando ella se fue a vivir a Chile, y éramos pequeñas, y se fueron con Evelyn, con todos se fueron, y ella tenía su Mustang. Y me acuerdo que era la fiesta del colegio, y ella sabía, como era tan joven y tenía tanta vida, ella sabía que para nosotros iba a ser fabuloso que ella nos fuera a buscar en el Mustang en Chile. Y me acuerdo que ella llegó en su auto, y nosotras saliendo de la fiesta, y todos los compañeros de nosotros estaban así, ¡oh! Parecíamos como celebridades. Era como que ella sabía que nosotras íbamos a estar felices, y ella llegó en la noche a buscarnos a la fiesta, y salimos del recinto del Liceo Pedro Poveda, me acuerdo, y todos mis compañeros, todos del colegio salieron a ver el auto, y al otro día todos me conversaban, ¿quién era esa señora? ¿Quién era ese auto? Y bueno, tengo muchas historias pequeñas con ella, y me alegro mucho de haber conocido una parte al último, ahora, en su última semana. Ella igual me llamó por teléfono, apenas hablaba, y me dijo, Ingrid, necesito que tú ayudes a esta persona, que es alguien importante para mí. La persona que daba las crianzas de los German Shepherds. Y a veces esta semana he escuchado los mensajes y me siento tan afortunada de tenerlos, porque todavía marca la persona que era ella. Me decía, necesito que ayude a esta señora y a su hijo que están en Chile. Tiene que venir a mi casa, me decían. Entonces fui a verla, conversamos, y me encantaba ella, porque aunque ella estaba ahí ya, ella siempre fuerte, o sea, su personalidad, su carácter fuerte que tenía, que ella le traspasó eso a sus hijas, y sus hijas le van a traspasar a sus hijas, y eso, van a formar mujeres fuertes de carácter, y eso es fabuloso. Pero eso ya es su último tiempo, y quedamos, y fueron unas cosas que no hablamos, conversamos, que tengo que seguir con eso, de ayudar a la persona que ella en su lecho me dijo, necesito que ayudes a esta persona, y yo, wow, o sea, no hay mucha gente así en este mundo, y me da mucha pena, pero está descansando y está sin dolor. Así que me alegro que podamos estar aquí reunidos, y ojalá que cualquier historia que alguien tenga, que la pueda compartir. Una mujer, como dijo mi hermana, que pisó muy fuerte en esta tierra.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to speak in English because my Spanish is not that great after Evelyn. I'm like, nope, we'll do it. Amiga, I'm just going to start I start at the end, then I'll start with this. I'll tell the story after. But your mom had this great superpower, like they were saying. She was always happy, warm, loving. Every time you saw her, she was full of life, right? And I think she's passed that on to your guys' family, because every time I see Catherine, Evelyn, and Johnny, you guys have that same warm feeling, like the world could be falling apart around you, but she was just always so happy, right? I have a few memories of her too, or moments in Chile, because we all lived them together with Ingrid and you. But one of them that really resides with me and shows you what type of person you are, and she carried on this with you, and that's the superpower that you have, amiga, right? So many years ago, my parents passed away, but I remember your mom showing up at my door once with her brush, with her paintbrush. I opened the door and I'm like, what are you doing here, Tia? Right? And she says to me, oh, do you want me to paint your house? So I was like, now? Right? And she's like, yeah. She goes, are you busy? No. So she comes in and she paints her paintbrush, and she had all these different paint cans. And she's like, just choose a color. I'm like, right now? Right? And she's like, yeah, well, I'll paint one room. Which room? And I'm like, and then I'm like, I don't know, because I wasn't prepared. So we started going through the whole house, and we decided on the living room. And I'm like, but I'm going to have to move everything, like, right now? And she's like, no. And then we sat down, and we started talking. And then the next day she goes, you know what? I'm going to come back tomorrow. Right? Because I like to talk, and so does she, right? And she came back tomorrow. And then she's like, okay, let's move the curtains. And we started doing, she came and she painted the living room, right? And I remember talking to her about her life experiences, how she raised the kids, and she loved to share that information, and I got to know her and stuff. And as she was finishing the living room, I said, Dia, I don't know what I'm going to do now, because I've seen you for like 2 weeks straight. Like, what am I going to do? And she goes, do you want me to paint your other room? Right? And then, and on word of a lie, she went room by room and painted my whole house. And she came for months every single day after work or before, and she really accompanied me. And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna show you how to be a mom. And she started telling me all these life experiences and how to like cook a little bit, like, because I didn't know what to do. She showed up every day, and I always remember that. And I said, DL, what am I gonna do when you're gone? She goes, don't worry. And she sent Evelyn. Evelyn showed up every single day for such a long time, Evelyn. I'll never forget that. Warren used to call her at 3 a.m. Where are you? She's like, I'm still here. And I'm like, oh my God, Evelyn's 3 a.m. I was on mat leave, of course. But Evelyn showed up every single day, and she carried that. So her mom came for the first month, and then Evelyn. And I said, what a superpower. What a superpower. And every time I saw her, like, and we were like, I bumped into her another time. I remember, I'm like, where are you going to? She's like, I'm going to an appointment. I'm like, oh, she goes, what are you doing? Oh, just hanging out. She didn't even go to her appointment, just to hang out. We went for coffee. She ignored every phone call. Like, she was so focused, and that's what you have. That's what I see in you guys, in your family. And you guys, when I see you guys, we're like, oh, it's like we've known each other for so long, but we really haven't. It's been a short period. But that's what's going to carry you on, that strength that she has, right? That's everything.
We will now watch a short video of Lolita's life.
Is there anybody going to listen to my story? All about the girl who came to stay. She's the kind of girl you want so much it makes you sorry. Still you don't regret a single day. Ah, girl. Tried so hard to leave her, she will turn to me and start to cry. And And she promises the earth to me, and I believe her. After all this time, I don't know why. Ah, girl, girl, girl. She's the kind of girl who puts you down when friends are there. You feel a fool. When you say she's looking good, she acts as if it's understood. She's cool. Ooh, 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 girl, girl, girl. Was she told when she was young that pain would lead to pleasure? Did she understand it when they said that a man must break his back to earn his day of leisure? Will she still believe it when he's dead? Ah, girl, girl, girl.
Chiquitita, dime por qué tu dolor hoy te encadena. En tus ojos hay una sombra de gran pena. No quisiera verte así, aunque quieras disimularlo. Si es que tan triste estás, ¿para qué quieres callarlo? Chiquitita, dímelo tú, en mi hombro aquí llorando. Cuenta conmigo ya para así seguir andando. Tan segura te conocí y ahora tú a la que tratas. Déjamela arreglar, yo la quiero ver curada. Chiquitita, sabes muy bien que las penas vienen y van y desaparecen. Otra vez vas a bailar y serás feliz como flores que florecen. Chiquitita, no hay que llorar. Las estrellas brillan por ti allá en lo alto. Quiero verte sonreír para compartir tu alegría, chiquitita. Otra vez quiero compartir tu alegría, chiquitita. Chiquitita, dime por qué tu dolor hoy te encadena. En tus ojos hay una sombra de gran pena. No quisiera verte así, aunque quieras disimularlo. Si es que tan triste estás, ¿para qué quieres callarlo? Chiquitita, sabes muy bien que las penas vienen y van y desaparecen. Otra vez vas a bailar y serás feliz como flores que florecen. Chiquitita, no hay que llorar. Las estrellas brillan por ti, ay, ay, en lo alto. Quiero verte sonreír para compartir tu alegría, chiquitita. Otra vez quiero compartir tu alegría, chiquitita. Otra vez quiero compartir tu alegría, chiquitita.
Why you look so sad? The tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, you don't know what to do. Nothing you confess could make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on and talk to me now. Hey, what you got to hide? I get angry too. Well, I'm a lot like you. When you're standing at the crossroads, don't know which path to choose. Let me come along. 'Cause even if you're wrong, I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you.
You guys know where you come from. Lisa. Lisa. Oh my god, those earrings. She looks like she's playing Mamma Mia Queen. I am the queen. I am the queen. You are? I am. Okay. Okay. Don't forget your... Boop, boop.
When the night falls on you, baby, you're feeling all alone. Won't be on your own. I'll stand by you.
That was a smoking car. I'd like to read the following poem. God saw you getting tired. God saw you getting tired, and a cure was not to be. So he put his arms around you and whispered, "Come with me." With tearful eyes we watched you suffer and saw you fade away. Although we loved you dearly, we could not make you stay. A golden heart stopped beating. Hard-working hands now rest. God broke our hearts to prove to us he only takes the best. As far as I can see, grief will never truly end. It may become softer over time, more gentle. Some days the pain of grief will feel sharp, but grief will last as long as love does, forever. It is simply the way the absence of your loved one manifests in your heart, a deep longing accompanied by the deepest love. Some days the heavy fog may return, and the next day it may recede. Once again, it's an ebb and flow, a constant dance of sorrow, joy, pain, and sweet love. It is a passageway, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness, nor is it a lack of faith. It is the price of love. Grief doesn't end at the end of the service today, but goes on. The tears you shed today are like liquid love. Share your tears, share your love, today and the days ahead. Lolita knew that she was loved, just as she knows it now. I'd like to offer the final reading for today's service, Remember Me by Margaret Mead. To the living, I am gone. To the sorrowful, I will never return. To the angry, I was cheated. But to the happy, I'm at peace. To the faithful, I have never left. I cannot speak, but I can listen. I cannot be seen, but I can be heard. So as you stand upon a shore gazing at a beautiful sea, as you look upon a flower and admire its simplicity, remember me. Remember me in your hearts, your thoughts, and your memories of the times we loved, the times we cried, the times we fought, the times we laughed. For if you always think of me, I will never have gone. I want to take a moment to thank Soledad's family for placing your trust in me today as your celebrant. It is such an honor for me to be part of sharing someone's life story and walk beside their family during a most difficult time. I hope that I was able to bring you some peace and comfort in your hearts as we remember Lolita. Thank you to Ken and the Serenity team for taking such good care of Lolita's family and all of us today. We now come to the end of today's celebration of Soledad del Pilar Acun Diaz. We will listen to the last song of the celebration. After that song, please join us at Our Lady of Peace gravesite. Please play Balia.